Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Rachel.
We're talking about deadlines today
Why?
because we have missed a deadline.
Have we missed the deadline? Which one?
We were going to get this recorded earlier and we didn't because we were doing other things.
But we haven't missed the deadline because surely the deadline is Wednesday and this is before Wednesday.
That's true, but it's a little bit late on our schedule, isn't it?
Okay, so we haven't missed our deadline. We're stretching our deadline.
Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, deadlines. So why deadlines are important is our article and our topic for today. So why are deadlines important, Rachel?
Well, they set you goals, don't they? They set you little milestones. They clearly define your goals and help you be motivated and achieve them. Okay.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question then about motivation. Are you motivated by a deadline ever?
Yes. I like to have a deadline. If I've been given some work to do, I always ask, what's the deadline?
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that I get that work done for the other person when they need it. What is it? There's some kind of law, isn't it? That if you give somebody a day to do something, they'll do it in a day. If you give somebody a week, they'll take a week. The job fills up the time.
Yeah. The work that you have to do stretches to fill the time given to perform the task.
Yeah. But then I, try and get lots of things. I don't like to miss a deadline. I hate to tell people I'm not going to hit their deadline.
Okay.
In fact, touch wood, I would say
You've never had to.
No, I won't say I've never, but I do my damnedest not to. What about you?
Well, I always think, why have you given this deadline? What is the importance of this deadline? Is it just like an arbitrary deadline someone's chosen, or is there a specific reason for this particular deadline? I like people to justify deadlines rather than just say, I need this done by next Friday. I want to know why. What happens after next Friday? What happens if we don't get it done by Friday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to know why.
Okay. I try to give you deadlines, don't I?
Yeah.
And then I go soft on you and go, oh, it doesn't matter if you don't get it done. I sort of give you excuses, for you not to hit the deadline.
Well, yeah, well, that's your problem, not mine.
I know, you've told me many times that's my problem. Would I please stop moving the goalposts of the deadline?
Yeah, you don't move the deadline, you move the goalposts. The goalpost, yeah, completely. That's different.
Oh, okay.
But, so number 4 here, they can enhance your creativity. So this article says that deadlines can help to enhance your creativity. I think you're a very creative person, Rachel.
Thank you.
Do you think deadlines enhance what you're doing when you're feeling creative? Do they help you in any way?
Yeah, they help you focus. They help you sort of zone in. If you haven't got a deadline, you just your thoughts sort of flip-flop all over the place. Whereas I think a deadline I've got to think about this now. I've got to concentrate. What about you?
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not as creative as you. But that was interesting in what this article says, that people are generally more likely to be creative when forced into a situation where you have to be creative.
Ooh.
And that deadlines, I suppose, is forcing you into a creative situation, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. Okay. Here's one for you. Deadlines help you avoid being overly perfectionist.
How?
I don't know, but I think deadlines just make you even more of a perfectionist.
It says here, in the absence of deadlines, some people may tend to spend too much time focusing on one or more aspects of their task. That sounds like people who talk too much and do too little to me.
Yeah. The people who talk a good talk but don't
walk the walk.
Walk the walk.
Yeah, come across plenty of those. Chocolate teapots.
Yeah. Okay, deadlines can help to boost your confidence. I suppose if you hit a deadline.
Now I saw a podcast this week talking about stress.
Okay.
And the guy was saying that people who are stressed by their work seem to equate being important. So if they don't feel stressed, they don't feel important. But if they're stressed, they feel like they're doing something very important. So therefore, maybe their confidence is boosted by deadlines. But he said, it's all a load of hot air. It means nothing. It's all in your head.
Yeah. But that's what I generally think about deadlines. Deadlines are a lot of hot air. They're just somebody deciding that this is the time when this thing that you're doing should be completed by.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you've got to get some presentations ready by Friday because you're going to show them to the client on Monday, then, there's no point doing them by Tuesday because the meeting would have been the day before.
Yeah, okay, I understand. There are some times when that's obvious, but why set a meeting or presentation for a particular date when you don't have everything prepared? Why not get everything prepared before you set a date?
But maybe by setting the date, it will force you to get everything prepared.
But if you were more organised, you'd be prepared before you set the date. It's a chicken and egg situation, I think, for me.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, well, let's talk more in general about deadlines.
Okay.
We've had some deadlines recently.
Yeah.
Which we've hit. Yeah. Are you happy about that?
Which deadlines have we hit? We missed my one with my latest book, which was supposed to be out end of April.
Don't say we've missed a deadline with your book. You've missed a deadline with your book.
But you're supposed to be proofreading it, and I'm waiting.
Okay, so I have missed the proofreading deadline. I apologise.
No, that's because I gave you other jobs to do, and I hauled you into doing other things.
Yeah, so you moved the goalposts.
No, we just decided together to focus on something else, didn't we?
Yeah. And here, number 4 here, don't let yourself be affected by the fear of missing a deadline.
Yeah.
I think that's true. If the world generally doesn't end disastrously because you don't hit a deadline.
No.
Most people don't lose their jobs because they don't hit a deadline. No. Most projects don't fail and collapse into oblivion because you don't hit a deadline.
Well, I mean, I think with regards to projects, I mean, if you're managing a project effectively, you're going to see that a deadline or a goal post or a milestone is in danger way before you hit it. So you've got the opportunity to bring on more resources, mitigate it, move something else, whatever, haven't you? I mean, if you miss a deadline in a project, then you're a bit of an idiot of a project manager, I would say, unless it is something astronomical that you just couldn't stop, something roller coasted what you were doing.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. Well, don't be afraid. I don't think you should be afraid of deadlines. Deadlines, I think, are normally very flexible. Yes, there is a date and a time to finish something, but there's always flexibility built into a deadline.
It's always something that can be negotiated.
Yeah, okay. Deadlines can be negotiated.
Okay. Well, look, let's talk a little bit more about where we got this article from, because this is not a recent article. We particularly wanted to talk about deadlines because they've been on our mind this week.
Okay, yeah.
But it's come from a site called Indeed.
Okay.
Do you know about Indeed?
Yeah, it's a job site, isn't it? They're a recruitment company.
Yeah. And I just thought it's useful. Anybody out there who is looking for a job, particularly in the UK, Indeed is one of the places that you can get your CV up on there.
Yeah, Indeed.com.
Yeah.
And they do have a great sort of career guide section.
Yeah.
With lots of articles about different careers, career development. And that's where this article came from. It's called Why Deadlines Are Important.
Yeah.
It's from a few years ago, 2022. So it's not a recent article.
No, but all the information that it holds within the article is timeless, isn't it?
Of course it is.
So...
just like our podcasts. Timeless.
Okay, Paul. Okay. But I would highly suggest people go there and have a look at it, even if you're not looking for a job. It's got some very good career development articles. Another one which I can see is highlighted about task-orientated leadership.
Yeah. There's some great advice on writing your resume and covering letters on here as well.
Yeah,
lots of stuff about interviewing techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, anybody job hunting in the UK, Indeed.com is a great place to look for any kind of job.
Yep.
Obviously, you need good English, so you should listen to the BizPod podcast and practice your English as often as possible.
Yeah, and set yourself a deadline to improve.
Yeah, but make sure it's a flexible deadline. Don't be too harsh on yourself if you miss your deadlines.
Right, well, I think I'm going to set a deadline for us to finish this BizPod today.
Okay.
Because we've got lots of other things to do. So it's going to be short and sweet today.
We've got lots of deadlines, haven't we?
We have.
Okay, then.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.